Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon update. Censorship. Conservatives hate it. They can't do or say anything, man. We need freedom of speech. No one should be canceled. We should be able to say what we want and read what we want, even if it's Nazi propaganda on social media. Free speech. Believe what you want. You libtards are trying to cancel us.
The generations of Black and Hispanic men, do you want to know what holds them down? Gangs.
We have an Islamic invasion. They want to put their hand on the Quran.
But nothing is off limits. I mean, unless you want to study Black history or read a book with a gay character. So to be clear, Republicans are against censorship, unless it's something they don't want to hear. This is Ron Bootsy DeSantis, and he is banning any studies about African-American history or LGBTQEIEIO history. They're taking books off the shelves with gay characters or if they happen to cover Black history. Now, I'm not saying Ron's a racist. In fact, maybe Ron just wants to be Black, and be like this Bootsy. But since he can't, he's going to ban all references of Blackness. Now, I'll be honest, he's a racist. Book bans have been going on for as long as genocide has been going on. Coincidentally, exactly as long as genocide. Mark Twain, Harriet Beecher Stowe, Judy Blume, William Shakespeare have all been banned at times, and it goes way back. And book banning has always worked out. Ask 6 million Jews. In 1650, The Meritorious Price of Our Redemption, a pamphlet that argued that anyone who followed Christian teachings on earth could get into heaven. But this flew in the fact of what the Puritans taught. They taught that only a special few were predestined for God's favor. So we got to ban that pamphlet because only rich, judgmental people get into heaven. Ask investment banker Jesus.
I want you to deal with your problems
so in the
by becoming rich.
19th century, multiple states had outlawed expressing anti-slavery ideas. And the prototype for Rosa Parks, Harriet Beecher Stowe, defied that ban and released Uncle Tom's Cabin, which told the truth about slavery. The book was publicly burned and banned by slaveholders, surprisingly, along with other anti-slavery books, which totally made people forget about slavery. In 1873, Congress passed the Comstock Act, which banned pornographic and immoral materials with no explanation of what those pornographic and immoral materials were.
We reject this.
Boston sanctioned burning books and banned Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass and Hemingway's Farewell to Arms. Hemingway. They banned Hemingway.
We will not allow reality, facts, and truth.
The Jim Crow era also was book bannerific. The Rabbit's Wedding, a 1954 children's book by Garth Williams, where a white rabbit married a black rabbit, was banned because opponents felt it encouraged interracial relationships in a kid's book about rabbits. It did not encourage racial mixing. This picture of Billie Holiday encouraged racial mixing.
We reject this.
But let's call it what it is. Banning Black history and any reference to LGBTQ people is un-American. It's revisionist. It's racism. In a country built by slaves where our founding documents specifically state that all men are created equal. Of course, women get paid a third less. Moving on. Look, for Ron DeSantis to deny and kill all history of our African-American and LGBTQ brothers and sisters is not only the most egregious white nationalist bullshit since a week ago in Florida, but it's flat out racism and homophobia, which, by the way, is the entire GOP platform in 2024. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Oh, come on, man. We ain't racism. We ain't racist at all. We just don't want our kids to be upset that Black people got messed over by white people because they're white. But guess what, dude? If it's racism, it's racism. Everybody, Christopher Titus, Titus Podcast. We are back from Denver. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
Oh, and the Hylinder. That's a stress.
I was trying to get a good breath.
And so we got Ray's can't catch a deep breath. We got bad news about grandma. We had a great week in Denver. We had a great week. We had a great week in Denver, and it's been one of those weeks, hasn't it? It's been a weird week.
It's been a week. It's been a week, definitely. But we had a very good time in Denver.
Sold out 5.
Sold out 5.
4 standing ovations. I do not know what the hell was wrong with that one audience, but go ahead.
Was that the lunchtime show? What was that? I don't understand.
Yeah, that was the brunch show. It was at a Ponderosa.
That was like the dinner theater crowd.
I think it was first show. That was first show Thursday, I think.
Oh yeah, that's never.
It
Gonna
was
happen.
a partial. It was like a couple people stood up.
I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
My show, I did not.
Oh, can I talk about your show on Wednesday?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
headlining show. Right?
Dude.
Yeah.
First of all, about 200 people and destroyed.
On a Wednesday,
Destroyed
200
On a
people.
Wednesday. That's like 10,000 at
Thank
Madison
you.
Square Garden.
Yes.
This show, we have to get this show in front of like, you should be speaking to like, to comedy clubs number one, but cancer groups. Like it's so funny and it's so insightful and it so gives people an insight into what it's like to go through what we're all going to end up going through.
Yeah.
So it was great and it was hilariously funny. You killed it.
I think I had the best show I've ever had in
Really?
my comedy career so far.
Yeah. Soup to nuts. I would say to soup
Not
to
of
nuts.
this show, but of all my.
You think better than any great night of Alpha Chick too?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
And because I think this one now is what I want to talk about, and it's what I want to say. And I got off stage like I got laughs on new stuff I wrote, which is always rewarding when you write it, and you don't. Some things like you write it and you're like, that's good,
Yeah.
The more immature things, but other things you write, you're not sure, especially if it's a lot of it's timing and stuff. And when it works, it's such an awesome feeling. And also I felt like the show made sense. It had a beginning, middle, and end. I had walked into it thinking, I got to rewrite this. And certainly it needs, it'll get tweaked and stuff. But I thought the actual, like what I have there is going to stay.
Who taught you how to do that?
My mom.
So when you're writing new music and stuff, do you feel like that? Did you write a song and you're like, I love this, and then
absolutely.
And then but it's weird. You put it into the world, and the world the world gets to go.
Did he teach you how to write music too?
I did. I didn't say I didn't teach you right. I didn't say. All I asked you was who taught you. You said your mom. I left it at that.
Your mom also taught me songwriting.
She did?
Yeah, she was really.
She did a lot.
And
She was really talented.
Yeah.
She taught me comedy.
She tried to teach you comedy, but you were not a willing participant.
Oh my god!
In her comedy, but she did used to poke him, especially politically at dinner, and he would get so wound up, like he gets here.
I don't anymore, though.
And then she'd look across the table and go and just wink.
She was doing it.
Totally on purpose. Wink. Totally
she
on
was
purpose.
Just sticking me with the fork just over and over, and I was like, yeah,
we were talking to your kids about that the other night, and Kenny goes, I remember that. He would never see her winking at us. Yep.
She knew just what to say.
She was not afraid of taking on Christopher Titus.
All right, so DeSantis, we got to talk about this idiot. So I think DeSantis is much more frightening than Trump ever was, because here's why. It seems to me Trump wants fame and power. That's all but he doesn't care shit about power, really.
Trump wants to not go to prison.
And DeSantis wants to be authoritarian. I mean, Trump
wants power.
Trump kind of put his toe in it, like, I guess I'm going to do what Putin did. Thinking he could. Mm-hmm. DeSantis, I think, has a fucking plan.
Yeah, he wants to write his own Mein Kampf. He's like, it's got it in his bones.
Yeah, but Florida, I guess Florida's the state to do it in, but to actually take they were showing pictures of some of the libraries in Florida, and there's literally references, entire sections of Black history gone in schools, entire history of LGBTQ studies gone. Gone.
How is there still, I've seen comparisons where you can teach other cultures history. Right. German, whatever, French, whatever,
Swedish.
Mm-hmm. How do those have?
What's the weird?
What's the connection there?
Tissue on that. I wonder
what the difference is.
Yeah.
He also has completely gutted Florida College, which is a very highly ranked public college, and has been famously left-leaning liberal, a very large percentage of LGBTQ plus students. It's an honors college. It's extremely reputable. He fired the dean, the woman, replaced her with one of his buddies. He completely gutted the board and put all his crazy right-wing, anti-CRT buddies on the board. He has blocked a lot of the curriculum.
He burned down the Reichstag, I think.
Reichstag,
he dismantled the DEI,
camps.
which is diversity, equity, and inclusion programs from public colleges. It's pretty crazy what he's done.
But it's the most un-American shit you possibly. How come these people keep holding the flag up like they are, like it's their personal, like robe? Like they get a hat. The flag is mine. We own the flag. And yet everything they do is so anti what our founding fathers document says. All men are created equal. Nope. History that we're excluding black. What? It's never worked in history. How dumb do you have to be to understand that banning books and banning information never works?
The hypocrisy of what you're saying, like of them, like promoting the flag and wearing the flag and all this, like you were American is so
patriots.
Is so fucking just astounding that they can promote America as if they're the bastions of
and bitch about censorship. I'm sorry, fuckers. You guys are bitching about censorship.
They are literally censoring books.
But yeah, they're literally taking books off. They're literally taking them off. They're banning an entire race
by
of
hand.
people.
They're censoring.
By the way, that's a pre-genocide warm up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
When you ban the history of a people, when you just go, we can't read about those people anymore.
Yeah, that's on page 2 of the handbook.
It's exactly step 2 in the genocide handbook. Ban any reference to these people even existing. So now that you can't learn it, the problem is Florida's not its own country; it's part of America. And I have a theory. I'll tell you what I have a theory that's happening. And
until 2030, when a storm knocks it off course.
Yeah. When a ultra kind of a windy Thursday just buries
it, flicks it off.
But we have this problem because here's my theory. These people have jumped on this because they surround themselves not with America, but they surround themselves with their base, and their base is rabid, especially in Florida. You brought this up about the economic base in Florida, that it's all these right-wingers that move to Florida, with money.
With a lot of money.
Right. So Ron DeSantis' circle, he is just a bunch of people just reflecting exactly what he says. What they don't realize is what they're doing now is their base. When Trump had the base at one point, it was 43% at the most, depending on the states, because he didn't win the popular vote, but he did win the electoral vote. As they've been acting crazier and crazier, some of these people on the fringes of the fringe are like, wow, that's not American. I don't know. I don't like Trump anymore. I know some people that are like, nah, he's an idiot. We don't want him again. And so they're breaking off 10% of that group, 10% of that 35%. And every time they do more shit like this, I don't care who you are. If you think America should ban studies of the history of America, which is a giant part of our history, this country was built by black people. It was built by black people.
If anybody should be
free, by the way.
I was going to say not necessarily. They didn't volunteer per se.
They weren't like, let's go build America. They were like, what are we doing?
There were some Chinese people working on our infrastructure for a while there too.
A lot of unwhite people actually did the work. And to deny that,
a lot of unwhite people still do the work.
True. Yeah. Okay. We don't. This don't.
It's not getting better.
Don't get all wokey. I'm saying that
that's a Native American tribe.
I am the non-wokey. You're the wokey.
Yeah.
I am
not wokey.
I am just
I am an
stating
Okie
a fact.
from Oklahoma. My family's from Oklahoma.
No.
Yes. Yeah. My grandfather came out from Oklahoma. That's where Grandpa Aaron Titus came out.
And Chewbacca is the very aware.
Which is a Wookiee. He's a Wookiee.
Maybe that's I didn't get that. That's why it was a movie.
Sound like that. We're always complaining, and that's kind of what we sound like to conservatives.
Just to catch everybody up, he got a little taste of his genealogy from a Mormon genealogy website that Aunt Kathy found through Uncle Les, who may or may not have been a serial killer, allegedly.
Just leave it at that.
Okay.
They're allowed to use computers and websites?
Yes.
Mormons?
No, that's not you're thinking of the Amish.
Oh,
yes.
They're got it. They're the horse.
Lots of wives, soda or coffee people. Mm-hmm. So he saw his genealogy last weekend.
Did we talk about this already?
I don't think so. And boy, he's very proud of his. There has never been a whiter lineage than this. It is.
That is so
You know,
true.
like we all joke, like, oh, we're all mixed. I'm definitely have some in my background. And nope, not a. I mean, it is
Albino.
Clorox,
Yeah.
paper plate,
it's Enid.
Bounty paper
as the name
towel.
said, it was Enid.
cotton ball,
Elias. I mean, it was all these names, and it goes. So the Tituses,
Beatrice.
my
third.
my lineage tracks back to 1600 in America. We were here
Owning slaves.
1600. Yeah, so we fucked some shit up. We got, what is
Wow.
that? What's that? Native American blood? It's on my hands. I don't know why. I'm not joking about it. I'm just saying. So
And you guys went to Oklahoma
so
to find new land.
So at first,
Wow.
How'd you clear that land?
at first, they gave us a flag and we ran with Tom Cruise.
Exactly.
We just both did it. And Nicole Kidman was there. It was amazing. It was amazing.
What happened to the Native Americans? There's a lot of Cherokee.
in that movie, they aren't really around. They just kind of ran onto the field like they were claiming territory. It was like, first down, this is my flag. And then, halfway point, and there was nothing.
Oh, it sounds fun.
It
sounds fun.
was, you know what it was? It was like a 3-legged race for a homestead.
Yeah, like a potato sack race.
Yeah,
It's field day.
Can you imagine? So Ron Howard directed that movie. That movie is so whitewashed. I didn't even think of it till you just brought it up. That movie, far and away, it's a great movie. I love the movie. It makes me laugh.
What, are you talking about Last of the Mohicans? What are you talking about?
No, we're talking about far and away with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. When they came to, you're a
Ireland,
corker, Shannon,
yeah.
and they came over,
yeah.
and they came over from Ireland, and they got here, and hey, my spoons, and they took, and he said, Shannon, I'm going out to Oklahoma. They're giving away land. Nobody's giving away land. No, they're giving it away, Shannon. And then they go out there and Shannon, we got it. And she's dying because the bad guy from her past, Shannon, come with me. Your father wants you home. And then he says, and she says, I'm not going with you. I love him. And he's dying. And then he flies away. And then he comes back into his body and he wakes up because that's what Tom Cruise does in movies.
How many times did you see this
I've watched
movie?
the whole movie.
Yeah, really?
So many times.
And this is
It's
all
so
Yeah,
all
he
one
actually-
actor
yeah.
did this all.
Do you know why
Yeah,
it is?
just one guy.
Do you know it's such a great epic, but it has been Richie Cunningham. It has been Happy
Yes.
Days. It definitely was. You got Ron Howard is a very nice human being, and he's not going to put Tom Cruise slaughtering 14 Native Americans to get his homestead.
Yeah.
That would have changed the movie a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, his people came from Scotland and England to America in 1600.
Well, Grandma, the Watson side, Grandma's side came over. They went Scotland, England, and I think Grandma was second generation.
Why that
The
specific
Tituses.
time frame?
The Tituses track back to, we were here 1600 before it was a country.
See, there's a lot of,
And by the way, obviously my ancestors were as dumb as me because we don't run shit.
yeah.
You'd think we'd had lease signs up or something. We'd own something.
No.
But no, we're
It's
here
been this long.
Yeah, we were here from 1600.
And you're playing clubs.
Yeah, we were here first, and yeah, my people were like, just keep drinking.
Nobody owns anything.
We own shit.
No,
but we were
there's
here.
no Titus Bank. There's no.
We met a guy named Kennedy, and he's like, "Do you mind if I take the corn so I
Yeah.
can make some stew?" Yeah, go ahead, fuck it, get it, as long as you give me some.
The
As long as you give me
Morgans,
some.
Chase, the Rothschilds. There's no
Yeah,
Tituses.
the
Yeah.
DuPonts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hung out with them.
There's no
You would
industry
think that you would at
leaders.
least own your own distillery.
Something.
The
Something.
Titus Whiskey Company.
I
But
just got
Titus Steel,
I
nothing.
just
No.
got how sad it is that we've been here since 1600 and still own shit.
Everything was available at that time.
Yeah, there was no,
You
there was
own
no
nothing.
restriction.
It was
at all.
free. It was
You
free.
could have just scooped up
You
dirt like, what's in here?
You just
I own
walked
this.
in. You walked in. You dealt with a couple Native Americans. You either traded some beads or there was a fight. Either way, and then you walked out with it. And you built whatever you wanted for as big as you wanted forever. And my people were like, nah. Well, what could happen? It's just gonna be like this. No one's coming here. It's 1600. Come on.
And then
I like to say to my ancestors, really? You dumb shits.
I didn't think about that.
You could have there could be a state named Titus. You could have our own part. Jesus Christ.
I could point to some of my ancestors as having had a lot of hardship in order to survive, and many didn't. And you actually were always in charge. Always.
No, obviously, we were never in charge. Obviously, no one gave a shit. Obviously, my people were like, some people in my family that are like,
I'm pretty sure they were drunk.
Yeah, they just came in 1600. Why? Because I'm getting tired of the Church of England giving me shit. Yeah. I want to go to a country. Wow. But Grandpa Titus,
Mm.
however,
Mhm.
was significantly Native American.
Oh,
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
That's not what she
One
said. She
32nd.
said
No. Watson, Grandma's side. Grandma was hardcore.
the
white,
ones from
Scottish English.
Scotland.
Yes, Scottish English. So the Watsons came from Scotland. My great grandparents are from Scotland. They and then the grandparents had Grandma Titus in England. They moved to America with Aunt Elma and Grandma Titus. Well, no, sorry. They moved here and then had a grandma and Aunt Elma was actually born in England.
Where was the Native American?
You can't just
on
put
the
war
Titus
paint
side,
on.
on the Titus side, on Aaron Titus, my grandfather's
The
side.
ones that were here since 1600?
Yes.
The ones
So
that
that were drinking and
that-
going, "Come here, you."
that's how they
Come
got
here, you.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. So I didn't get it till you just laid it out. They were Okies. My dad always said we were Okies. Grandpa Titus came out during the Grapes of Wrath time. They came out from Oklahoma, which means. So here's how.
I didn't hear this part about. I'm gonna have to check
let's
back in with Aunt
Let's
Kathy.
give the history of the
Let's call
Titus.
Aunt
I'm going to
Kathy.
do a rough possible.
'Cause
I'm going to
just-
do an investigative history of the Tituses. 1600 we're here. We kick ass for a while. We're doing all right. So there's land in Oklahoma. We do what we do on the East Coast. Then the government decides to give away a bunch of land in Oklahoma. 1776. I'm sure we fought some people. We fought some British, right, like that. And again, lost everything. I'm sure because the Tituses were the one that's talked shit, and the British burnt everything down. So we ended up with nothing. And then the government goes, "Oh, thanks for defending us," and we talk shit to them, and they're like, "We're not giving you nothing to make up for your farm." So I'm just going to do it. This is an imaginary investigative history of how the Tituses blew it. Like when I got my show canceled, that's my
And
They
then-
all had a show.
I blame those fuckers.
I would guess it directly correlated with the creation of red wine. I would say everything was going along swimmingly, and then red wine was invented.
Whiskey. It's not red wine. Red wine, I'm fine. It's
So there's
whiskey.
a 3 seasons of Titus
even
like at
stopped.
every 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it was
They
doing
all got canceled.
well and then shit the bed. So then what happened was we decided, because everything we gone through the Revolutionary War, they're giving away land in Oklahoma. We go to Oklahoma, we get land. So that goes on through the Dust Bowl.
That's still happening.
Through the Dust Bowl, by the way. And then so that was what was that, late 1800s, early 1900s?
We
The
still
Dust Bowl.
have it in parts of California.
Right, Stu, yeah. Well, not now, thank God. At least for
Oh
another
no!
year.
Now we have swimming pools.
Yeah.
Where the Dust Bowl used to be.
Then they were like, screw it, because they took our land again in Oklahoma. I'm sure when a Titus lost it in a car game. I'm sure.
1930s.
1930s. So that's when Grandpa came out from Oklahoma to California, and that's when he met Grandma Titus in the 40s.
Who there's
in the
never been
40s.
a whiter bone structure
No,
ever.
that is the
the
English
whitest
Scottish,
looking
yes.
woman I have ever seen.
Yes. And then they had Uncle Eddie, Dad, and Uncle Les and Kathy in the 40s and 50s, and that was it. And that's how it went.
So how did the Native
Honestly,
American?
I don't know about the Native American. We're going back to Aunt Kathy's tomorrow. I'll check back in with everyone next week from Grandma's.
But obviously, my
'Cause I
smart
don't-
mouth and talking shit is.
I just
is
don't see
genetic.
it. I don't see a lot of it in any of them. They're all the only person who I would say
Good jawline and stuff. And I have abs, and I say this a lot.
the things you're pointing out is
before he goes too far.
I like alcohol.
Okay. That was racist, but it's true. Okay.
By the way, this is the last episode of the Titus podcast. Yeah. So I think I just got. If we were from 1600, we got to talk to Kathy tomorrow and go, how come we don't own shit?
you're right. People that came like 100 years after you were like,
Yeah.
I'm going to take the
By
trains.
the way, I own
and the-
Idaho, and I'm going to take you take. Wow.
Some Native American tribes produced wheat beers, wine, and other fermented beverages,
There
but
you
the
go.
alcohol was naturally limited to 8 to 14% alcohol by volume and only used for ceremonial purposes.
14% is pretty high. Wasn't wine only like 9%?
Well, no, it depends on what you get, but 14 is actually pretty high.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's not liquor high, is
What
what
was
they're
going on in
saying.
the 1600s though in America? What was going on in the 1600s? Like,
Oh,
these-
just pickleball and just
Pickleball.
fun,
These Tituses
Little
are assholes.
croquet.
Look, here's the next Google question. You can always see dumb people that sit around all day. The next question is, why are Native Americans so alcoholic? The high,
Oh my God.
Yeah, the high prevalence of alcohol use and its consequences among American Indians may be attributed to a number of factors, including the influence of the European colonists who first made large amounts of alcohol available to Indians, as well as current social and cultural factors. That's how you took their land.
And also,
Obviously, the Tituses didn't. We're clear that the Tituses
right.
owned nothing.
so you got that going for you.
Because my dad was always a decent guy. My dad was, you say what you about my dad, to his family, he was hard, but we were like, hey, guys, come on, man, they're cool. What are you taking their land?
Okay,
That's
so
how
there's a
the
silver
Native
lining.
Americans and the Tituses slept while other people took the land.
Have you partied with these Native Americans? They're odd. Whoa. You killed a lot. Why do you guys do this?
Where'd all the teepees go?
Very Native Americans, are they more prone to alcoholism? This is in the National Institute of Health.
That's not
Native
true.
Americans and Alaskan natives are 5 times more likely than other ethnicities in the United States to die of alcohol-related causes. Native Americans are predisposed to alcoholism because of differences in the way they metabolize alcohol.
So wait a second. You can't base any.
There is a genetic difference in some.
There is
Yeah,
a
but there's only
genetic
12 of them.
difference in the
How are you going to base any
metabolism.
statistics
Well, there
on?
used to be more.
No,
The
there's
problem
a
is one
lot of
these-
Native Americans. We worked a casino on the border of Oklahoma. It was right at Oklahoma and where was that?
That other state that's next to Oklahoma.
Well, there are several states. I was just
Yes.
trying to remember
New Jersey.
which casino it was because we worked was it the Arkansas one?
Maybe, yeah.
The top
Yeah.
corner. And every employee of that casino, every employee was Cherokee.
Had to be.
Had to be.
Oh,
They
that
only
was-
hired Cherokee Nation,
That was
which
a-
I was fascinated by because that's what a lot of my genetics are tied to, is Cherokee. And also,
explains a
surprisingly,
lot.
like the host, the lady that led us around all weekend, was pale with blue eyes and red hair. So it's not what you always think. You're not always going to be like, oh, that's a Native American. She was like, oh yeah, especially Cherokee, you'll see a lot of red hair and stuff. And I was like,
Some weight he's got in there. Yeah.
A couple of Tituses.
Yeah.
No damn well some Tituses in the 1600s.
having heard stories about your dad,
Broke
I
ass
sat
Tituses.
next to Aunt Kathy. It's always funny because I know your stories are true that you tell on stage. You know, people wonder if what we tell on stage, like the stuff I told about Mom on Wednesday, it sounds insane, but it's true. We're not that creative. We just write what our family
absurdity
does.
of the human condition.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I sat next to Aunt Kathy in Roanoke Park when you did this show, Carrying Monsters, which you'll be doing in Chico on Friday night on the 3rd and in Fresno at the Tower Theater on the 4th Saturday. And whenever you would do parts about what a dirty, slutty dog your dad was, I'd be sitting next to her and I'd hear her go, not arguing, not, oh my gosh, not, but like almost proudly like, oh,
Kenny, yeah.
Mhm.
Kenny,
Yeah.
you did do that.
He was, man.
And-
even the grandma bit too. She didn't. She,
When you did the
e-
thing about patient 0 about AIDS,
Yeah.
she quiet and I was like, uh-oh, he's crossing line. And then she just went, I can't say something, Kenny. He's like, we're talking about AIDS. And she agreed with me agreed with him about the 23andMe. Although his kids agree with me that he needs to do it. But Aunt Kathy
not
did
doing
agree that he probably has a bunch of siblings in Reading.
in Reading and Eureka, in Sacramento, where Dad did his dad was a traveling salesman,
Oh, right.
and they all grew up near fiberglass places that made boats or hot tubs. Because my dad sold fiberglass.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, do 23andMe. Nope, don't want to know.
Yeah, you're gonna do
No,
it.
don't
Oh, we're
wanna
doing
know.
it. I want it because we might find somebody fun, and Aunt Kathy and I would love.
Maybe
that.
I'll be lucky. It'll be Joe McHale. Be like, hey,
No shit. People have been saying for
Yeah, right.
years.
I like this. Yeah.
dude, I gotta call you, man. Was your mom named Joanne McHale? Because is this her? This is my dad, and she's in a ski boat. I don't know.
Well, so you know my mom's long lost brother that she found and was best friends with for the last 10 years of her life that we never knew about. He and I are very close now. Well, his son is very interested in finding if we have other relatives out there. So his son did 23andMe and has been calling or texting me going, do we know a Robert
he's been burning
Bradley
through all the
or
names,
whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you don't want to.
And she's giving him character.
Like hardcore Trumper got banned off Facebook for being racist on Facebook.
Yeah,
and he goes,
he was at the insurrection.
Yeah, but do we know a John Bradley? I go, yeah, no, he was actually at the insurrection. Not kidding. This was an exact conversation. And then he says something like, do we know a Roman Hale? Or it was some really different name like that. And I said, no.
He was so happy.
And I said, find me someone. Get out there and find me someone. And he said, I can't make you any promises, but I'm going to work on it. Well, come to find out, that would be my Uncle Philip's biological father's side, who he doesn't know who they are. And so this woman would be
wait.
his sister, we think. Or his
Uncle
daughter.
Philip is now looking for
he
the
wasn't.
father's side, but now
My cousin, his son is, because you know how he is. He's dogged. And he has found this person that is from, because Philip doesn't know who his father is and who is related to. So you can find all kinds of cool things by doing 23andMe.
Yeah, or it could ruin your life, because we had another friend in Tacoma who
we did have that.
figured it out, found out dad wasn't his dad. Then he found out that his it was crazy.
The dad wasn't his dad. Then mom said, okay, you're
this
right.
Is your real dad.
Here's your real dad. Goes for a year and a half.
Meets this guy.
Gets close to this guy. Introduces this guy to his first kid as his grandchild. Then does 23andMe. Finds out that dad is not his dad either.
He's
There's
related
a
to Hitler
whole
or something.
other guy.
Not even. It wasn't even his dad. So he spent a
another
year with this
not
dude.
dad.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Oh shit!
So at that point, you turn to mom and go, "Really, mom? Mom, what do you, mom? Come on,
keep a spreadsheet or something."
Exactly. Couldn't you have just like written a note,
Well,
a napkin
listen.
on the bar napkin? Just what's your name again?
Aunt Kathy's good girlfriend just did 23andMe and found out she's a one of 6. Found out that all 6 of them are from different men, not their father, who they grew up with, who just died. And so now the mother and the father have just died, so they can't go to them and be like, what the hell?
Each one has their own
Every
father?
single one has a different father. All 6 of them. Mom was busy.
Yo,
So remember I made her tell you this story? So Aunt Kathy's friend found her, did 23andMe, found her father. He was in Bakersfield. Gets a hold of him. He died the month before. But she met 3 new siblings, supposedly by that dad, who allowed her to come into his home and pick some things that she wanted. They were very gracious to her. But now she's got these new siblings, and now her 5 siblings have a whole bunch of different others, all 6 from different.
The good news is the dad's dead. Because,
yeah, but
I mean, that's
the original. No, it would be mom. Or you mean for dad to be...
for dad to not
to
know
find out she a hoe.
that, wait, all of them?
He might have just skipped town and went to Bolivia, though.
All of them?
Not one?
No, wait. So all of the 6 kids that I've spent my life raising and feeding and putting a roof over, not a single one, you whore? Whore!
This episode brought to you by Butcher Box. I don't know. It's like, what's a segue? Meat.
That's an interesting... there you go.
Yeah. Packs of 6, you know.
I don't know. I'm very confused. My niece has signed up for this. She's a Marine. She signed up.
So
she is loving this. I was like, well, you know, you're an adult kid when you're texting me about high quality meat at an affordable price. Like,
that's an adult. The one thing, I was reading about a bunch of stuff about, because I've been working out every day, and I've been really...
You wouldn't want to talk about anything that they carry, though.
No, I'm talking about, I've been reading about processed meat. None of this is processed. What I love about Butcher Box is the way they raise it. And so I won't even crack open a pack of processed meat. It's all Butcher Box for me.
They have 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork that was raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. It's all humanely raised, no antibiotics or added hormones.
Right.
That's what you're talking about.
Right.
That's why you get the better taste. And it comes to your doorstep, which is my all-time favorite part. It was my niece's favorite part too. She's like, they deliver it to your door. I don't have to go to the commissary.
I can do a dry ice experiment too.
Plus, yeah, you do get dry ice. You and I were kind of fascinated by that, which is why last time Texas had that storm, we had someone write in and say that they were furious because of the storm. They weren't delivering. Her box sat at the FedEx place all weekend. She called Butcher Box. They were like, we understand this happened. We're sending you all new stuff. Well, then she got her original box. It was still frozen. Yeah. She was like, this is the best company. I will never use another company again. And then Butcher Box was like, it's okay. Just keep that. Like, what?
But the meat, everything we've used from them has been phenomenal.
You can choose from a variety of box plan options, or you can do your own. You can change it whenever you want, add to it, take away, whatever. They've got a bunch of new products. Like it changes, but sausage, burgers, seafood. The seafood definitely changes a lot. So make sure that if you want that, get on that. They also have a different deal now. And I would just say do this to say it helps you save time, money, effort, gas.
Thinking. You can just go
thinking and low quality food that you don't want to put in your body because it's not good for you. Butcher Box has a special offer running for our listeners right now. Use our promo code Titus to get $20 off your first box. Sign up at butcherbox.com/Titus and use code Titus to get $20 off. My dad just called me last week in Denver and I said, will you text me that company and the promo code? I said, okay, Dad, I'll do that. Sure, Dad.
Good. We've switched your dad on a lot of stuff.
And it's free shipping in the continental U.S., which is also...
And where do they go to get?
We have switched my father over
pretty much
on a lot of things.
Like 6
and
companies.
He's the hardest sell. And at Kathy, too. So butcherbox.com/Titus, promo code Titus to get $20 off.
I want to point out how dumb half of our electorate is. So we can bitch about DeSantis. We can bitch about Trump. We can bitch about Tom Cotton. We can bitch about all these guys. And it's easy to Ted Cruz. The problem with that is that those guys only got elected because the people that elected them bought their bullshit. And we are to a point now where, as I said before on stage, we all have a computer. We all have a phone. It's not hard to look up what these guys stand for. It's not hard to look up how shitty they are. That Marco Rubio won after passing no legislation and doing shit.
I don't think
for 12 years is crazy.
I don't think any of those people are looking up anybody. They're not.
But that's what I mean, though. They just want to hear, I don't like gay people. Yeah. I don't like gays. Oh, we're taking the books off the shelf. Good, let's go. And they're reacting like that, and like, oh, black people, we're not going to teach my kids that being white's bad. But that's not the narrative.
Yeah.
The narrative is like, no, this is the history of America. And because we've allowed education to be gutted, that we've allowed education, like it's not, remember there was a while, there was a weird shift about 10, 15 years ago where education was seen as a bad thing. They started using the word elite. Remember?
I mostly remember that under Trump.
Yeah, no, it was before that a little bit too. The Republicans were doing it under Obama. The elites, remember,
they're the ones.
It actually started with Clinton. They were pointing at Clinton and they were saying, "You're elite. You don't want to be like the elites." No. Do you know what elite means?
But Ted Cruz was Harvard and Princeton, right? Or Princeton and Yale or something.
But they've obviously done studies. But you have to understand. So here's the thing: the con man's not going to be the dumbest guy. The con man's conning the dumbest guy. So when Ted Cruz goes to Princeton and Harvard, right? Yeah. Or Yale. Was it Yale?
Whatever.
Okay, so he went to Ivy League schools, 2 different Ivy League schools. So that guy figures out, okay, he's smart enough to go, all right, what's going to get me the votes? I'm going to make fun of the fucking elites, and I'm going to wear cowboy boots that, by the way, are hand painted, like, a real cowboy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's got.
Bless his heart.
Yeah, and
I'm qualified to say that.
So,
by the way.
So what these people are doing, they're getting conned by these Ivy League elites who are saying, "Don't vote for the elites, vote for me because I ain't elite." Motherfucker, like you said, you went to Princeton and Harvard.
I feel like I need to throw this in here. There is an argument over whether or not Native Americans or indigenous people are predisposed to alcoholism. Yeah. Manitoba medical expert is very upset about this and has come out and said that it's not a predisposition. It boils down to social conditions such as poverty, which I could certainly see
100%. That makes total sense.
So there's apparently a whole argument about this. Just want to give both sides of the argument.
No, I do not think anybody's predisposed. You may you may have, like, I have a predisposition to being able to process it differently.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I can.
It's called alcoholism.
No, oh my God.
You are predisposed to alcoholism.
Oh, with
you have
my
a
family
genetic
members.
predisposition. My sister does. Your kids, I've talked to about that.
So what I'm saying is that you put a bunch of people, you basically take over an entire, race of people, commit genocide on them, put them in, giving them then put them, then lock them in on a reservation where they don't have to work, they get money, and they're living in total poverty, and they're
hanging out with Tituses.
And their entire because the Titus is, I'm going over to the reservation. Because that's the Titus. Why don't you go get a job and own something? Fuck that. I love these people. These people are awesome.
So, they're all like this fucking guy.
I love that. That's where the Tituses have been all these years. They were too busy drinking with Native Americans and partying and sleeping together not with each other, but with other people, to build anything like wealth, education. You're genetically predisposed.
Poverty.
You have adapted.
I'm the first one who's turned the sense of humor and the Good Time Charlie vibe that we have into something.
Something, yeah. And also you have tried to intercede in the being a hoe.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Because you, at some point, one of the kids had to get so tired of watching their parents be hoes that that's one of my favorite jokes I ever wrote. Like, wake up in the morning, there'd always be a new woman there, and she'd be like, hi, I want you to know me and your dad.
Hey, there's no me and my dad. You're my dad. Kathy, is it? Anyway, here's your keys. Here's your complimentary t-shirt. And thank you.
And he's 5 in the bit.
Yeah.
Poor little puppy Titus. I feel so bad.
So what we're doing is right now is
I got it. I got something.
But I just want to talk about how education.
I'm going back to that.
Go ahead.
So right now in Florida counties, this is an article that just came out this week. For example, Manatee County School District in Florida, the teachers say that they're experiencing fear and confusion as to how the district is going to implement HB 1467, which requires that books be pre-approved materials or vetted by a media specialist trained by Florida's Department of Education.
Wow.
The president of the teachers union has come out and
they
said
have little
this.
Armbands,
they have a brown shirt.
Yes.
Little
So listen,
little SS on their shirt.
a document was provided by the district
Florida
that lays
fashion.
out the new statutory changes to HB 1467, indicates that violations could be considered a third-degree felony.
Wow.
So teachers now are scared because it's not been laid out exactly. It says DeSantis signed this last year, requires library media resources be approved by this is direct quote, school district employee who holds a valid educational media specialist certificate, which would be issued by him, I guess.
That's like
he made it up.
That's some made shit.
He put that out in a June memo. According to Florida's Department of Education, which was putting out guidance memos as recently as December, selection of library materials, including classroom libraries, must be, quote, free of pornography, which is subjective, right?
Subjective, 100%.
And prohibited material under the law, quote, suited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material presented and appropriate for the grade level and age group.
Wow. I love the Orwellian language that is so vague. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is make your specific decision.
Leaving it open for
total interpretation.
If they even unwittingly use things that they've used before that someone else has now decided is pornography. Because there's an argument right now about To Kill a Mockingbird, which is one of my favorite books of all time. It was my mom's favorite book. What about the rape content? The whole thing is what isn't that pornographic? And at what age does Ron DeSantis think that it's okay for my child to read that book? Because he said that it also has to be specifically suited to student needs and their ability at that time to comprehend the material presented and appropriate for the grade level and age group. So,
do you see what this does, though? Do you see? So basically, what they're doing, people, is they're limiting how smart your kids can be. Not only that, but they're telling you that this is dangerous. So now your kids don't even have any reason to go search.
That is teaching. you're not supposed to limit what they
Right, it's the
comprehend.
opposite, right.
You're supposed to
Make them comprehend
it. You
Yes,
fucking
you read
morons.
it, and then you talk about
Yeah.
it, and that's how you comprehend
Open
it.
their mind up why this is wrong. Oh.
Yeah. And also, I've said this
This is some
before, but I'll
Nazi
say
shit.
it again. I grew up in the South. I grew up when I was little, there was that KKK billboard I've told you guys about, welcome to KKK country, with the guys with the hoods on the horses riding. And I remember learning about slavery, learning about the Amistad, learning about all those things.
I learned that
and
from
I
Steven Spielberg.
never one time can remember feeling guilty or feeling responsible because I was not a moron. Because I also read about, you know, the stock market crash and people killing themselves. And as I learned about that, I didn't think that was my fault. I just thought this happened in history and I should learn about this
What about
because
the Chinese
it's my
that we
nation's
forced
history.
into slavery on the railroads?
Never thought that was my fault.
You sure?
The Black Plague, I didn't think the crack in the Liberty Bell was my fault. I wasn't a fucking moron.
Because I wasn't a moron. But this comes down to this for me. It still comes down to education. You want to destroy America? This is exactly how to do it. Because what ends up happening is you're going to have students. Let's play this out for 30 years. You got the dumbest motherfuckers in the world raised by parents who didn't let their kids learn anything. So what happens is now you get a theocrat, basically, a theocrat fascist running things. All of a sudden, next thing we know, we have a civil war in this country because people are too fucking stupid to have critical thinking because no one taught them critical thinking. The whole point of Huck Finn, the whole point of To Kill a Mockingbird, the whole point of Mice and Men, all of it. We read those. Holden Caulfield. We read we read those for a reason. Then we would sit around and talk about them. And the whole point was, what does everybody think about it? It taught you to think.
Well,
by killing these books, guess what? You're teaching people not to think.
But you've made the point that no one is teaching these kids critical thinking. So I remember then going home to my mom and saying, you know, well, what about this? What happened to this lady in this book? And Atticus Finch, you know, is defending and my mom would be like, well, let's talk about that, Ray. Like, what do you think? What do you think about this? And well, what about this? And she would make me, and because she was doing the work at home. And I think that you're right, that's the problem, is that these stupid idiots are not doing the work at home. So it's like, send them out, let the school teach them exactly what they need to know and what they need to know so that they're not a problem and they don't question too much, because I'm also a moron because I didn't get an education.
Because I'm also from Florida in the last
Make
generation.
them dumb and eat all white food on their plate and, you know, wear spandex like I do, and we'll just continue this cycle until
let them hate people
we
they know
turn
nothing
into
about.
the fat people on the motorized things in Wally.
But
this episode brought to you by Athletic Greens. You have got to take care of your body, stay healthy, and be ready to run, people.
When she's ramping up.
I will say that
into it.
I will say that the segues are getting more extreme, more creative.
Extreme segues.
Yeah.
We love Athletic Greens. Just
every morning.
Take it. If you don't take it, it's dumb. Next. No.
Guys, for gut health, the guy that invented it didn't do it to start a company. He didn't do it to start a company, which, by the way, guys that start companies and say, I want to change people's health, that's fine. This guy did it because he was sick.
Yeah.
And so I love that, because that's how I'm like, I don't want to solve the problem for him, but I can't feel like this
for
anymore.
Me, yeah.
And Athletic Greens has helped her with her gut health. She has had some problems with that.
But once you find something that works for you, you're like, oh, I got to share this. People don't know they could just do this thing and it would fix the stuff that's going on with them. I take it every day. I told you guys, part of my New Year's thing, put a scoop in a shaker bottle. I don't even use much water at all because it doesn't need to be diluted. It tastes awesome. We actually, as of today,
you're not drinking grass clippings.
No, but you're getting what is equivalent to that in your body for your health. So it's awesome. You get what you need without having to suffer. We just started seeing Athletic Greens. We saw a commercial today, actually, and we were like, wow, okay, so this dude's serious. He wants people to know, hey, you don't have to buy all those supplements and drugs and take all that stuff. You could actually take this for your body, get what your body needs. I've told you guys, it's like 75 different whole foods source superfoods, vitamins, minerals, everything like that your body needs that it's not getting, of the highest quality. Gut and mood support, boosted energy, healthier looking skin and nails. It's kind of a life hack, I think. It's like,
but you know what I noticed? But so look, there may be other stuff that has that much stuff in it, but it never tastes good. So what ends up happening is you have this can that sits in your closet and you don't take it because you have to literally psych yourself up to drink it. Athletic Greens never had that problem.
One day when Athletic Greens is done doing ads with us, I'm going to scream the name of that brand that I used to have to force myself. And then I would be so nauseated after because of the taste. And then I would like have to do it the next day and I'd already be thinking about it. And then I just quit doing it.
Yeah.
So you don't get the benefits. This guy has really made this so doable. You can get it delivered to your door every month. So it's been easy for me to make it a habit. Otherwise I forget to get stuff. I also love the single serving packs because they're great for travel. I love the dropper bottle of D3. I put that in the shaker, a little drop every day, shake it up, take it. If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of that vitamin D that I was talking about in the dropper and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/Titus. That's athleticgreens.com/Titus. Check it out. Check it out and tell us what you noticed.
Speaking of health, I figured something out recently and it took me this long in my life to figure it out. So I've been working out for a while. You work out, right? Work out. I did not realize. Yeah, but when I say I worked out twice a week. I would figure out a way to not work out.
Working out
and
a lot.
For 2 months now. Well, it's February now, so it's for a month solid. End of December. And I have to be honest. I didn't understand that if you want to get in shape and you want to change your body, you can't. It's not 3 times a week.
Tony's been saying that
you
forever.
have to go 5-6 times a week.
You have to. It's a life. You have to change your lifestyle.
Diet so much too. The thing nobody wants to hear is it's almost you could.
But it's training me. My brain is training.
You
me.
could see even more results faster with just diet than exercise.
But but it's also it's not just changing my body by working out every day. It's also changing what is going on. It's also changing my
a phone case delivered. That
it's also changing my brain. Like I've noticed now. You know why? Because I'm sore right now. I go, and yesterday I was sore and I worked out in the morning, I did weights, and then I came into Taekwondo at night and I woke up today and I could barely walk. And I know today, and here's the thing, what my brain used to be like is you're too tired, don't do it.
Right.
Because I've been doing it for a month now, my brain's like, you're doing it.
Trained.
Yeah. You're just not going to do, just don't do your legs today, do shoulders. So that's my, and guys, I got to tell you something, man, this life only works if you're committed to it. Not once or twice. Whatever you want, you can have. But it's not once or twice. It's not 3 times. It's every damn day. And in the face of, I don't want to do it. I've
heard a lot of trainers say to create a habit, you need to do it for 30 days.
Right.
And, if you want to change, get your discipline down and get your training going and get your diet going, you really need to put it into your lifestyle for 30 days.
So true.
And you will.
It becomes almost like I don't want to say addiction because it has a negative connotation, but something that you need to do. I have the thought, I need to get my body moving. I need that because I know that feeling, especially as you start to age, like the feeling of just getting your joints moving and, like just lubricating your joints. It sounds gross, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a little bit like a really good drug to me.
I call it blowing the crust off. Got to get up and blow the crust off. What are we doing? What blowing the crust off? I want to get up. So the pandemic, here's my biggest damage from the pandemic. I got into this habit where I sleep too late and then I chill in bed too late and then I get up too late. So I told Ray this morning that from now on I'm getting up.
That starts at bedtime. That's when you have to focus on getting it. So
we both have
after
sleep
a show,
issues though.
You have to. You got to be disciplined to maybe get 1 hour, maybe 1 hour after you get home.
Imagine sucking in the energy of 300 to 500
Totally.
people and
That's
then trying
hard.
to
That's
go to
the
sleep.
hardest time.
Yeah,
We get home like, it is
insane.
He does, especially because he's up last. I have time to come down like while he's on stage, but
So second show Saturday, I'm done. We're done at 1. I wouldn't have done. I'm like,
That's hard. I used to do like rock shows, sweating, jumping around, at finishing at like 1 o'clock in the morning, like, and I'm just like dripping with sweat, and it's like, oh, now I need to go I have to work tomorrow, at 7 a.m.
Yeah, sleep is hard. I did when I was at Ojai Optimum Health Institute. One of the things that they're really against is having anything blue light in the bedroom. So no phones, no TVs. They don't even recommend having a TV off because of the energy that comes off of it. Phones, the light, the little bit of all of it. I know, but I have noticed that if I stay on which I have a tendency to do, it's to sit on my laptop, that I start to get like almost like restless leg feeling, like as I do, like later it gets like, it's like this thing where it's hard to calm down after that. When I couldn't sleep all night last night, but I have a lot going on. And his snoring is so sweet until you can't sleep for 4 hours. And you were like,
it's literally like, what is he, a fucking welder? He's
an older man. He's an older boy. Makes some noise. And then Groucho I have never had a dog that is as on the move as Groucho. Most dogs I've had sleep soundly. Groucho, if I open one eye, sometimes I am so careful about if I want to check the time or something because it's this. Yeah. And he's this far from me, and then he runs. And then at 3:30 in the morning, I just had to pee or check the time, and he's licking my face. We're awake. We're alive. I love you.
With the new day. Like, it's 3 a.m., you stupid dog.
And then he also will go back and forth. Under the covers, out of the covers. Go to him, go back to me.
You can't get them out of the room?
No. Have you lost your mind? And Groucho does this. You're dead asleep. I have a sleep mask on because of my eyelashes, and it's a cold, wet nose. It just goes bink, and he'll just hold it there, and it scares the shit out of you. And then he licks him. Chaplin licks you.
Yeah, here's me. Like, God damn it!
Or the covers on the covers next to your face. So that's going on all night. It's just really
because we're going through a weird time right now. It's really cold, so they get under the covers. They get hot, then they want out, and then they want to get out. Oh yeah, it's like we sleep with 2-year-olds forever. Oh.
We should put their. I have shark pajamas.
That's
for them.
Not a bad idea at all. I just like to see dogs in pajamas. I like it. So we want to talk about what you gonna do. Go ahead, do this.
I just wanted to say really quickly, and then I will do this, that Denver Comedy Works is it is our home club.
Yep.
Comedy Works South specifically is our home club.
Audiences are phenomenal.
The audiences are the best audiences. Wendy, who owns them, Jeffrey, who's her right hand, they are my family, but man, they have built just the coolest comedy community there. The also comics that she works through that I got to work. It's cool now because when I go back and I have 2 people on my show, which I don't get when I'm with him, I know them now. Oh, remember I saw, oh yeah, hey man. Hi. So it's like, and she's got this whole machine working there, and it just was such an awesome week. And that room, because of how the audiences are and stuff, it allows you to create and
be better.
It's weird. Like I have come up with more new material there than anywhere.
Well, when you're on stage, you've written cause you write the bit, right? You write the bit, and then you're on stage. Well, if you're on a stage that you're not used to, or a stage that you're trying really hard because it's not a great comedy club. I think I would say last week when the guy we worked for, the money was weird. That guy. That was a survival gig. You want to get through it. You want to do your best. Wendy's Club, you're so free in the audience. So that you're like, and your brain goes, hey, what if you said this too? And you're like, hey, here's something new.
And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah. It's a great club. I will say the flight back was probably one of the worst experiences I've had in a long time.
Okay, hold that thought. This episode brought to you by HelloFresh, because I don't want to segue out of that to this. HelloFresh, another one of our favorite companies. Such a great time for this to combine with your health, with Athletic Greens, New Year's goals. HelloFresh, what's great is if you made a New Year's goal to eat healthier, then you can do the fit and healthy,
right?
Or fit and wholesome. You can do veggie if you don't want to eat meat. If that's your goal, you can do family friendly. So you can kind of tailor. You pick your meals every week. That's my absolute favorite thing about this company, other than it gets delivered to your house.
But as Ken knows, it shows up complete. The cool thing is, it's like it shows up done. The meals in the bag, and you just do it. Like, and
it's just like if you part of your goals were to plan and organize better, though, the week before I will go on there and I am picking what we are going to eat next week. We do 2 people 3 nights a week. You can do 4 people. You can do more or less nights, but you're pre-planning your life for the next week and who you want to be. Because you might get to that day and be like, I want In-N-Out, except you've got this complete meal that takes you less than 30 minutes to cook, and it looks and tastes awesome. So you're going to do this every time.
It's legit, man. It's not popping something in the microwave. It's legit food.
It's really legit.
And prevent that last minute stuff, because that's always when you're doing takeout and something that's not great for you.
This is kind of like having takeout.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same crap you make all the time, and it tastes restaurant quality. It looks restaurant quality, but the cost is like such a fraction of that.
And there's no gray food.
There's no white, bland, gray
no, it's
food.
Awesome.
So,
I like that he's actually hoarding some of the spices. He uses enough, and then he puts it in for other stuff.
Because they give you like 4 packets of like a sauce. I'm like, fantastic.
And they'll tell you add more to taste. So if you're done, you just keep that stuff. There's some good seasonings they have in there. They only use quality ingredients. Like, they are now committed to ingredients traveling from the farm to your home in less than 7 days, so that you know you're getting fresh food. Saves you time, saves you money, saves you brain power, which most of us are out of by the end of the day. Ken loves it. Ken is going to get a girlfriend with it. He's going to use it. He's going to butter base something, and he's going to have a date, and he's going to, give him your best.
That wasn't a sexual thing.
Which I don't even know what my best is anymore.
No.
Could I be honest?
That was not it. Okay. How about a thumbs up?
One of my most hated questions is, what do you want for dinner? You and I do that, and I'm just like,
oh, that's a fight. That's a fight.
He never answers.
It's not a fight, or I'm more frustrated that it's like I'm writing Armageddon updates, and I'm like, I don't.
But doesn't it turn into?
You mean the little lady needs to think of it because Daddy's writing Armageddon updates?
When you ask me,
I know what you mean.
I don't have any RAM left. You got to admit, I'm not a smart man.
Well, that's why I ask, because I have no RAM left, and I'm done at the end of the. I don't know. I'm like, oh God, I don't.
But if there's 3 little bags,
I will tell you,
fridge,
I have never asked you once when we have our meals from HelloFresh. I'm usually like, you're not going to believe, but we're having steak lyonnaise tonight with mashed potatoes and whatever.
The Brinko chicken is awesome.
Regain your RAM, people.
Yeah.
You get HelloFresh.
Free up some RAM.
Yeah.
Just get HelloFresh.
And also, just for fun, if you want to see what we're talking about, go to HelloFresh.com. I do this sometimes when I'm bored and look through what the recipes for upcoming weeks are, because it's changing. Like they're really getting more varied now and more seasonal and limited. So go check it out. HelloFresh.com/Titus65. Use code Titus65. You get 65% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/Titus65 using promo code Titus65 for 65% off and free shipping. America's #1 meal kit.
So Denver is we don't like going to LAX. Do you like going to LAX? LAX is a nightmare.
No.
LAX is a nightmare. So Los Angeles International Airport, plus it's in the middle of construction, the biggest construction they've had in 50 years. It's got.
You don't know where you are when you get there.
Not
Am I Bradley
or
what is this?
It's a mess.
I don't know.
It's
and then there's
switching. What is this?
And then there's switching stuff.
And there's a spaceship in the middle.
And then there's Burbank Airport, which is literally like a convenience store / airport.
Yeah, it's just somebody's like, go ahead.
Where you literally walk onto the tarmac and climb the stairs. It's called Bob Hope Airport because Bob Hope did that back in that day.
Yeah.
Where ladies wore heels and dresses and hats and waved goodbye from the top of the stairs. Yeah.
And you sit right behind the pilot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you put headphones on.
Tap them on that. Hey, that way. So we, when we go to Denver, because it's a 2-hour flight, we don't want to deal with the extra 2 hours of hassle to LAX. So we go to Burbank. And the only flight that is out of Burbank is Southwest, which is the cattle car of airlines. We just need to be honest with that. Yeah. And so we are on Southwest. We were lucky on the way out. We got the middle seat. We had a kind of a half empty flight. But on the way back, we spent some time with our friends, Wendy and Jeffrey. We love them and Ted. And we had to spend the day with them. And then we got a night flight out on Sunday. A night flight out on Sunday, everybody's going home. So we're horrible. We want that middle seat because we got the pups and we got all our stuff. And she's faking a phone call the whole time on the aisle.
Oh, that move.
and it's with her mask on. That's what she did. She was like, she's faking it. She's going, and I'm over there going, no one's gonna sit next to us.
Every time people would walk by, he would do that. Then,
put some fake sweat on you.
The wettest. Yeah, I did that. I really a couple times went like that.
People kept coming, and we were like, "Damn, we're in C now. Like we almost made it. We're in C. Well, we made it. We got done. There was no one else getting on the plane. 2 more people came running on. We made it. Oh my God. Well, as this guy, the girl sits down. This motherfucker. Excuse my language. The guy is near our aisle. He starts and I thought, I'll join in. So he knows this is the Typhoid Mary aisle. This is when the universe cracks a joke on you. The universe is like, all right, fuckers. So this guy's wearing a mask, sits down next to us. Can I sit there? So she moves over in the middle seat. Now she got the dogs at her feet, middle seat. It just sucks, whatever. And I'm leaning over. We've pulled the thing. He was a hefty figure. Hefty. Uh-huh. He was sweating a lot. He had just run a lot. He was sweating. Mm-hmm. He had a mask on, and this
sleep apnea awake.
This motherfucker starts going for real. He's the last guy on the plane, and he sat and there was an empty seat right next to us. Okay, through a mask. I'm not joking. Ken, for 4 hours straight. He never
Come on, dude.
Stopped. Dude, not only that, but we couldn't. It wasn't a 2-hour flight because they had to de-ice the plane. That's why I said 4. So we get in the line of planes. Jesus. We sit on the tarmac with this dude with fucking Typhoid Tommy, just he kept doing that. Like there was always a period at the end of it. There was always every time. It was like and I'm like, where's that going? Dude, where's what you're coughing?
Right, is he swallowing them all?
Yeah, what are you doing?
It was, and the thing that was great for me was I was next to him. I was the protective barrier
and on the
shield.
other side of her, I'm going, this motherfucker.
Every time he coughs. But as you know, he doesn't say it completely under his breath. He says it loudly enough that he does the loud thing. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh. And then over here, fuck, asshole, fuck, Jesus, shit.
I kept going, Jesus.
And then the guy kind of goes like this. Like he's nervous because he's a dentist. He's a hardcore dentist.
We found that out because I finally said something to him. So what
did you say?
He looked over me and he just kept saying.
He was also gaming next to me.
This goes laptop. For an hour. Yeah, on his phone he's gaming, and then I finally did. He went, oh, and I go, hey, dude, can you get some water or something? And this man goes, well, I had water, but they took it at security.
And he said,
no.
And then he said, but say this as Dennis. He had that same high-pitched voice, but he said, TSA compliance. He said
TSA compliance, so they had to take it to security. So I can't get water because there's no way to get water after security.
He said that,
and I'm like fucking.
And if it makes it any better,
what do you mean?
If it
makes it better, I go because dude, I go. We're
other people can hear you.
We're trying to avoid COVID, and he goes. Oh, it's not COVID, it's asthma. No, dude, it's not asthma. You're not running, bitch. You're sitting in a seat next to me, and it's weird because at one point I was like, if that's what you're going to do in public, we've got this thing now in life where there is no right way to act. People just think no matter what they do is okay. And it's not. We need standards.
Well, in his defense, it didn't sound like he could stop. So
then don't get on the plane. Don't get on the plane. How about you get some antibiotics. Go to a doctor.
The flight
Call
attendant,
an ambulance, for God's sake.
The flight attendant is a very badass chick.
Badass.
Who is no nonsense. And she had these big, giant, square, rose-colored glass things that sat down low on her nose and these tight braids that she had braided across her head so that it all fell this way.
Down this.
She was a badass. And she was the one, she was actually on the thing going, people, drop your bag and keep it moving.
Dude, she was at the door and she was in the, I turned around and go, I like her. Because there was no humor. You Southwest, they tried to be funny. She was not trying to be funny. She's like, people, it's -3 degrees outside. Do not stop in the aisle. Keep it moving. And everybody stopped and tried to jam in and
she wasn't on him like a hawk.
They're trying to put like a propane tank in the overhead.
Order a vodka. and I have a vodka. And I had just gotten really bad news and sobbed hysterically all the way to the airport. And in the airport, I was having a bad time. Yep. And then I've got this dynamic going on. So I ordered a vodka, and then she came back by. She was just taking people's cups as they were still drinking. I'm like, give me this. She came to me. I don't know why. And she said, you want another one? And I went, what? Could you see it in my eye? She goes, I got you, girl. And just looked me dead in the eye. She disappears. She comes back with 2. Here, you need 2.
Wow. So, now, just to be clear, so there's this much liquid in it. I think it's already mixed.
No, it's just she's just filling.
Oh, it's just straight vodka.
She gave us another.
Well, she wasn't giving him any. She gave me 2 because she thought I needed 3.
She was like, I don't want to die.
Yeah. So he says, "Can I have one?" So I said, "Yeah." So I filled up the centimeter of club soda, and we have those. And then we don't care about this guy quite as much. So I get up to go to the bathroom, and I said, hey, it's almost over. And she said, bitch, you said that right. That's what she said. She goes, you want some more vodka? No one has cups anymore. It's over. Cleared it.
No one's getting nothing for some reason.
She goes, so I end up standing up there, and she's holding on to my arm, like she's laughing so hard and like punching me. And I'm like, ow, that hurt. And, she gives me more vodka. I said, well, just so you know, he drank one of those. And she goes, well, we can't have that. And then I said, is everybody okay? She goes, except for that motherfucker.
The guy
and she's pointing at the guy next to me.
The guy sitting next to us.
So she brings more vodka for both of us this time. It ended up being a much better flight than
you know every second of this guy's presence. You ever have someone near you that you're just like, and I'm sure I've been this guy sometimes where you just get this guy away from me. And then at the end, we're getting off the plane. We want to get off. We've been sitting on this plane for 4 hours now with this.
Yeah.
And the guy just sitting there. People are streaming.
He was letting people go.
Hey.
I had it.
And I go, let's go.
I told him, I said, it was our turn a row ago. Go. And he thought he was the one to worry about, but it turns out it was me also. But he was just standing there hacking things up and letting everyone just pass by while he blocked us in. Oh, he had a buddy in row 32 that he was going to wait for. You're going to keep
No,
yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. People, do me a favor. Start acting right in public. Just because you can and no one gets in your face. Don't act like a douchebag.
This episode brought to you by a brand new advertiser that I'm actually very excited about.
Another amazing segue.
I am very excited about this because this is something I've kind of been talking to you guys about. By the way. Well, it's great that now that we've gotten one and used it, it is so much easier than I thought possible. So you guys know I've complained a little bit about you know about this product, about so much garbage.
Right.
It's like eco guilt or
something. But also
something.
all the stuff you grow.
And I'm not even being super woke or whatever. I just feel sick about the fact that there are 2 of us and there are these giant garbage cans, and sometimes we need to use other people's cans. That's gross.
That's how I met my neighbor.
Yeah, you did. He did.
I was putting shit in his can.
You were digging out their trash
He's
for
like,
them.
Hey. I'm like, oh, hey, if you want to use my can,
so I stopped using plastic bottles. And so that's been massive, except the gardener used to dig through our garbage and take the bottles. So I think I've killed his side hustle. But still, our regular garbage, you know, like food waste and stuff that you have at the end of it's just gross. And it goes to a landfill and it produces methane, right, and you're killing the environment.
Yep.
And I don't want to do that anymore. But I thought composting was too much work, and I thought you had to get worms and you had to, wear Birkenstocks.
Or you have to build something out of like Mad Max Fury Road.
No.
Yeah, and like stir it for 6 months.
Yeah, and then you stir it and then heat comes off and it kills birds that fly
worms,
over. No. Yeah, no, we were thinking, I was, because every time I see someone who's got a composter,
they
it's
smell
this
bad.
Giant thing that you got to turn.
It's like, those people that say that they compost smell bad. And I never wanted to, you know what I mean? We have a lot of them
it's
here.
Manure.
Yeah, exactly. And so there is this killer new product that actually we already were promoting this to Wendy, and Wendy was like, I'm going to buy it. Wendy was on the website on her phone because she's been thinking about this too. So the product is called Lomi. It's produced by a company called Pila. What it does is it allows me to turn my food scraps into dirt by pushing a button. It's a countertop electric composter, you guys. It is like, it's white, ultra modern looking, and it looks
like a giant toaster.
or like those rice cookers.
Or a crock pot.
Yeah, it's the size of that. And I put it under our kitchen sink. I just put it, you don't have to keep it out.
Don't mistake it for the crock pot.
Do not.
Turns your food scraps into dirt, nutrient-rich dirt less than 4 hours.
Yeah, like mind blowing.
Like the best
I don't
dirt
understand
ever.
that. I don't. And there's no smell when it runs. You get these charcoal filters, and it's very, very quiet. It's not making a lot of noise. We now with Lomi, I would say are going to go from like 3 full big bags of garbage to 1.
Yep.
And you don't have all that nasty smell in your garbage.
But
and
also
the
with all the
crows
stuff you grow,
are assholes in our neighborhoods.
The stuff you grow too. I mean, imagine taking it out and put it on. When we put it on the plants and stuff. Now that we had rain.
So all that garbage is not going to landfills producing methane. Right. Now I'm taking, and still, I don't know why. I don't know how. It turns it, like you said, into dirt. I don't know. I don't get it.
Think about
magic.
it.
By the Harry Potter Corporation.
Great. I was going to say, this is perfect for, if you have kids, they can put scraps in there and go, now we're just going to make dirt.
Exactly.
Hit a button and it's like...
You guys know, if you guys grow anything, like I have fruit trees and flowers and stuff that I love. It's my happy place. That this is nutrient rich dirt that you can grow plants with. Why buy dirt again for your garden? You're making it. It's magic happening at our house right now. And it's easy and it doesn't smell bad and you're lessening your carbon footprint. It's kind of a no-brainer.
And you don't have to buy soil for, like, if you have potted plants or whatever. You usually have to refresh that.
You have a dinner, like our Christmas party. You take all those plates, scrape, close it, push the button, leave it. Just leave it and then I put it under the sink and then let it run. And then I have this thing of nutrient. I don't get it. When you guys try it, you have to tell me what you think because I'm kind of mind blown about this right now.
Great way to sell a product. I don't get it.
I'm mind blown. I'm absolutely.
One button.
I don't need to get it, but I need to have it. How about that?
I got it.
If you want to start making a positive environmental impact or just make cleanup after dinners that much easier, Lomi is perfect for you. Head to lomi.com/Titus. Use the promo code Titus to get $50 off your Lomi. That's $50 off when you go to lomi.com/Titus and use promo code Titus at checkout, because food waste is super gross. So you can let Lomi save you that trip to the garbage can.
The cool thing about it is that, like, some of these things, I don't think people are, like, we're all pretty much aware that climate change is messing shit up. We're all pretty much aware of it. Mm-hmm. The problem is nobody wants to be inconvenienced. I mean, it's because now we have this, but composting in the past, you had to build a thing and you had to have a section of your yard and this thing is just under the sink and you go, oh, we did it. Just do it every day and it's done. And we have something that's going to be cool that I think so many people would, if every company did this and made it convenient, we'd be good.
Convenient, easy. It's small. Even if you don't have a lot of space, it doesn't smell bad. It's quiet, and you can go on their website and look at what you can throw in there. They have pizza on there. You can throw meat, food scraps, eggs, eggshells, rinds, peels, grains, coffee grounds, yard trimmings, house plants, Lomi approved bioplastics, paper products. It's like, I don't get it.
It's very Jetsons.
I just don't get it. And I have to have it. That's what I'm going to say about it. lomi.com/Titus, promo code Titus.
Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please go to ChristopherTitus.com. Go to Christopher Titus TV. And now to end it up, it's Hylinder's Fun Facts. Hylinder's Fun Facts. Hylinder's Fun Facts.
Speaking of mornings, tough mornings, you are taller in the morning than at night.
I totally believe that.
What?
Yeah.
Because your body spreads out?
Yeah, basically.
The compression of your
over
spine.
The day.
This is why everybody needs a teeter hang up, so you can do like he does, where his little feet just skip half an inch off the ground.
You're also lighter in the morning. The height is because over the course of the day, your cartilage compresses and makes you shorter. So if you want to weigh yourself in and check your height.
I always weigh myself first thing in the morning. Learn that during training.
I always wait.
He does. This moron.
Why? Wait, because
this moron, he'll weigh himself usually in the morning. And then every day after that, he'll drink. I'll watch him drink 2 bottles of water, 1 with liquid IV. He'll have 2-3 cups of coffee. He'll drink his smoothie. Then he'll go weigh himself.
I told you, you have to make it consistent.
I can't believe I've gained 9 pounds.
That's what you just had 3 waters.
I don't understand.
I've done that before. I put 4 waters on the scale to see what they weigh. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And also do it once a week. Don't do it,
Yeah.
more often than that.
Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Christopher Titus TV, get all the stuff we're doing. We're putting out new stuff all the time. There's a bunch of new clips coming for myself. The lovely Bombshell, Ray, and the Hylinder. Later.
Peace out.
There could be a one.
Go get the puppies.
Go watch Alpha Chick.
Alpha Chick.